I think one of the main reasons I'm interested in kind of acts of recreation or preservation, like the kind of living history thing or the Morris thing, is definitely that, well, if it was pure recreation, if it was absolutely purely historically accurate, I'd probably find it an awful lot less interesting. I think we all would probably. I mean, where it's interesting is where we don't know for sure, but where it feels a bit off kilter. Or, you know, I mean, I'm a big fan of kind of Victoriana, and I love Victorian Gothic, and I love all those moments where a historical moment or a historical style kind of finds itself centuries later by being reinvented. You know, it becomes perhaps what it always should have been. It becomes the best version of itself, and I really enjoy that in history, and I don't think history is a fixed thing. I mean, I don't really think many things in life are a fixed thing. And I think what's particularly interesting is why there's such a strong feeling for that at the moment, as there was in Victorian times. I think perhaps we're in that time again now, where, because perhaps, I'm going to sound like a real junior psychologist, but because of a kind of insecurity at the moment, that we don't feel like we're in a terribly defined time, we're not entirely sure what our aims are, we're not terribly fixed in kind of really where we're going, particularly in sort of westernized countries, that slight feeling of lost, that it's kind of natural to look back and romanticize, or to kind of define where we are now by what's happened before. So say, you know, we're not lost because this happened in such a time, or, you know, we're actually very much like our ancestors who did this, or, you know, and by kind of acting those things out, we're proving to ourselves that we can have empathy with those people, which means we can understand ourselves. And so, yeah, I think I'm interested in it, not because I'm interested in history, but I'm interested in how people see themselves now, and how we constantly reinvent who we think we are and how we relate to other people. And relating to people who've been dead a long time, and perhaps we're a bit fictional anyway, is an awful lot easier than relating to the person that lives next door, because there's a little bit of distance and you can kind of reflect on that much more easily. But I think it's a very healthy thing as well. I'm not just being critical. I think any form of empathy, even if it's slightly theatrical, kind of slightly invented, is a really helpful thing. It means we can connect with each other, and I'm very interested in how we connect with strangers. And at the moment, obviously, there's an awful lot of stuff in the media about strangers and about kind of immigration and war and all sorts of problems of not really understanding each other, or being fearful of people you don't understand. That anything, however light-hearted, that helps us to understand people that really seem very different to us is really useful.